Hey guys, it's Neek. So I made this blonde wig a couple weeks ago and I decided that I wanted the roots to be like a dark 1B type color. So I decided to film the process and yeah, so if you want to see how I achieve this look, just keep watching. Okay, you guys, so the hair colors that I'm using is the Revlon Color Stay Black Brown color. Um, the Revlon Color Stay, in my opinion, is the best for like basic dye because it's only $3 at Walmart. Um, so that's what I use to dye the roots, and this is just me showing y'all what dye I did for the rest of the hair. But that was a hot mess, so I ain't even showing y'all that. So usually I start out by spraying the front of the closure with Got To Be spray because there's usually a bunch of little flyaways that kind of make it hard if you don't. So I kind of just do that to put the hairs in place. And then I mix a little bit of the dye in the bowl. As you can see, I don't use the whole tube because the whole tube isn't needed to do just the roots of the closure. So now I'm just putting the dye onto the closure. I usually kind of go around the perimeter, is it? I think. The perimeter of the closure, and then I start to go like row by row. So I don't like to bring my like the color of the roots too far down. So I pretty much just get like the very, I guess like the first maybe inch of the hair. Um, and I go along, do a section, part it, then do the other side of that section, part it, and just kind of continue. But you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So this is what I mean by parting the hair, doing each side of the section and then parting and continuing. You'll see that I'll do the top side of that next. But another thing that I want to note is that when you are dyeing any like color that's not like a full color, um, if you'll notice, I'm taking the brush, once I finish like covering what I want to cover, I take the brush and turn it vertically and just make little tiny streaks just so that it's not like a sharp line from brown to blonde, if that makes sense. Basically just to make it a smooth transition into the rest of the hair. So I'm pretty much just going to be doing that until I get through the closure. So I'm just gonna speed it up because it'll get boring. So Another thing is making sure that you, like, I guess, kind of press all the way down into the roots. You don't want to have like the very tip of the roots of your hair be blonde while the rest of it be dark. It's happened to me before, and yeah, it's a hot mess. So just make sure you're doing that. I will say you do run the risk of getting dye on your closure by making sure that you get all the way down to the roots. Some people use a comb method where they use like a fine tooth comb and apply the dye that way. It doesn't work for me. I've tried it. I still got dye all over the lace. So my trick for doing that is if you do get dye on the lace, you can always just bleach the knots afterwards. It kind of like corrects the dye that you get on the lace. So if y'all know any better tips or any other ways of correcting if you get dye on the lace, please leave a comment below. I'm always open to suggestions and learning new things because I'm definitely not a professional and I'm learning as I go. So I'm open to whatever suggestions y'all have. So I turned the mannequin head just so that y'all can see from a different angle how I'm applying the dye. Just so y'all know, this is not for the weak. This process, even though it's just the roots of the hair, it takes a lot of patience. Even though this video is only 13 minutes long, it took me about an hour to do this, because you want to part small sections to make sure that you're covering all the hair, and you want to be very what's the word? You just want to be careful. You don't want the dye getting everywhere. You don't want it going all throughout the hair because of course the hair is staying blonde. So you don't want a bunch of black streaks in the hair. So yeah, but I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing and speed the rest of this up. So once the actual closure is finished, I will go along the that track that's right underneath the closure and just hit the roots of those two. It kind of helps make the whole hairstyle kind of look more seamless. When the closure falls, basically, it'll look, it'll look blended. It won't look like just the closure has been dyed. So this is an extra step that I did that I probably wouldn't do again, but I went around the perimeter of the whole wig and did like the sides around the back and stuff. This is useful if you're going to be wearing your hair in a ponytail a lot. but I personally don't, so I don't find it hugely necessary, but I would probably do it by request, but I wouldn't do it for my own wigs, but it was just something to try. So yeah, you'll see me doing that. So this is the hair after all of the dye was deposited, and this is the hair after it was washed and blow dried, and yeah, this is me styling it. I didn't show the full, like me dyeing the actual hair, because it was honestly, it was a mess. It, like, I just didn't do it neatly, and yeah, it was just a hot mess. So I didn't put it in this recording. But if you guys want to see it, I still have the footage for it, so I can post it, but it's not, yeah, yeah. So, but this is the hair after everything was done. So this is how it looks complete. This is the final look. I'm trying no baby hairs, so I'm trying it. I think normally with no baby hairs, I would probably cut this first layer, just because those pieces on the very, very end, they don't quite lay the way that I think they should. But I didn't take them off because I want to see what it looks like first, and then if I don't like it, then I will lay the baby hairs, and those pieces would be the baby hairs. So I don't want to cut too much lace off. So yeah, but this is how she looks finished. And I'll give her a spin for you guys. This is her. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.